Thank you so much for taking a minute to talk to me.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Valentine's.
Very happy Valentine's, and this is referring to couples, so you want to hear this, all right?
That's good.
So, I want to give information to people about why is it important to be on title. So when you buy a property, who goes on title and why?
Okay. First, I'm going to tell you who I am. I'm Dalene with WFG National Title. The role that I play is I assist real estate agents in marketing, doing vesting verifications, making sure that we can actually insure the title of a property. So who's on title and why they're on title is very important. It's a deciding factor on who can actually sell the property. There are a couple of different types of vesting. One of the most important is joint tenants. What we usually see in joint tenants is husband and wife. If anything happens to wife, property goes to husband or spouse, regardless. Or if anything happens to one spouse, it goes to the other. Tenants in common are typically for investors or people that are not married or they're buying a property together. They just haven't become legal in the state's eyes.
All right. So what happens if for the reasons of financing or whatever reason the purchase, your name was not included? Now, you just found it out, or you can actually call Dalene, call me, call your real estate agent and find out if your name is on title. What happens if it's not on title? How hard is it to add your name on title, or what other options do you have to make sure you protect your
asset.
Patrimony, your asset?
So there are a couple of things. What we see sometimes at closing is one of the spouses was not an income earner, and so they weren't included in on the loan docs. So one thing that we would like to do is ask that lenders educate their clients of why that spouse was not included in on the loan docs.
Correct.
Because once we get the deed of trust, we're following what the deed of trust is vesting.
Okay.
Then the grant bargain and sell deed is prepared, and that's who's going on title. If that spouse is not on the loan docs, we're asking that spouse to sign a spousal deed at closing, meaning they're deeding their interest off. If something were to happen when they leave the title company, only one spouse has ownership to the property. So what we would suggest is for them to contact a preparation company or even a real estate attorney that will allow them to prepare a grant bargain and sell deed and add their significant other on as joint tenants, and that would protect the property. Or my second piece would be, in order to avoid title insurance, is to put the property into a trust. If you put the property into a trust, then they don't have to worry about anything. There's two trustees. Something happens to one, it goes to the other, and it's spelled out how they want the property handled.
Okay. So, extremely important, not only for your protection, for the protection of your spouse, of your kids. You don't want, if something was to happen to you or the owner, you don't want your property to be on limbo or your family to have to fight for what is theirs. Yeah?
Well, and what we don't want is we don't want to see families have to go to probate over their own property. What we are finding is that it's our veterans. Those are the ones that we're really worried about. Our veterans, normally one of them is sent for deployment. The other one usually is at home taking care of the children. We find out that they've gotten hurt, injured, or unfortunately passed away. And now the significant other that is at home is not on title. She or he is with the children, and they're trying to figure out how they can get ownership of their own property.
That sounds like a scenario you don't want to be in, right? So, last question. I'm going to put you on the spot. You're wearing all red.
Okay.
How do you think Trump's presidency is going to affect the real estate market?
How do I think Trump presidency is going to affect the market? What I'm hoping is that we can get a little bit of this inflation down, and what we're praying for is that he's going to be able to have an opportunity to change some of these rates so that we can get more buyers into properties. Unfortunately, with the way that rates are right now, people do not want to be house poor. And that's really what it boils down to. Hazard insurance is up by 58%. Interest rates are up over 7%. If we were to look at some of these purchases 2-3 years ago, they were very affordable, and they are not affordable now. And people are just barely being able to keep groceries on the table right now.
Yeah.
So I am hoping that he's going to be able to sit with the feds and figure out how we can get these rates down so that we can get the real estate community back up and going.
Very nice. Thank you for all your answers. It's always a pleasure.
Leo, it's always a pleasure with you.
You're so informational and so smart, and thank you.
You got it.
All right.
Have a great Valentine's Day. Thank you guys for joining us, and we can't wait to give you more information.
Thank you. Have a great day. Happy Valentine's. Mwah!